What's up, everyone? Alex Corey here with cultivatingchange.com. This is going to be the first episode in a series I'm going to call Cultivating Change, because that name was already there and I'm really bad at figuring out names. We're going to go over psychological barriers that most people, especially myself, run into when making any meaningful change regarding health or lifestyle, usually. So it's going to be a lot of mindset tips and tricks for all stages of change once you decide you want to change something. And these are immediately applicable, and I go through these almost every week, so just figuring out easy ways to get around them or ways to predict obstacles. And the first one we're going to do is on analysis paralysis. For anyone wondering, we are off the Blue Ridge Parkway in western North Carolina. I just went back home to New Hampshire for a little bit, came back, and I just realized how unique of a place this is. So I'm going to make more of a conscious effort to re-explore the western North Carolina area, because it's beautiful. Rhododendron, forests, and streams everywhere. It's absolutely gorgeous. Gives me a good place to assimilate thoughts and digest patterns and see what's been useful in my journey. So this one is on analysis paralysis. This is the first real barrier after making the decision to change, which is hard enough. So my current journey is on Primal. That's using more ancestral nutrition and lifestyle. Lifestyle I was already doing, but basically just becoming a little more metabolically flexible and running off of fat primarily. My body type, ectomorph, tall, skinny, hard to gain weight, hard to put on muscle. I just move all the time and burn through calories. So it's actually helping me slow down a little bit. But you still run into the same problems. So the first one you hit with making any decision to change, usually, especially for high functioning, aware, conscious people, is analysis paralysis. And it's the fear of wasting time. So if you realize how valuable your time is, basically it's doing as much research as you can, digesting meta-analyses, going through blogs, podcasts, research guides. I've probably spent weeks in actual literal hours researching certain health changes I've made in my past before executing. And what I found, and what most gurus, Tom Bilyeu, motivational speakers, Tony Robbins, Jordan Peterson, any large profile thinker will tell you, is you're going to run into it anyway. There's no way around it, and you will be terrible at whatever you start. And it's always true. So everyone is bad at what they start. Analysis paralysis is just a form of self-sabotage because your brain does not want to change. Almost at all costs, your brain wants to conserve energy and stay in a state of hormesis, which is just balance, as in you're not dying immediately. It is a survival instinct. Change is dangerous, potentially stressful, and metabolically costly, as in it's going to expend energy. So the ways around that, instead of pouring through articles, which you probably will still do anyway just to satisfy that itch, is you have to set a deadline. This is why challenges work so well in the fitness world. If you just have a program that you see for a year or a month even, you're likely to skip days because it's so broad spectrum. There's no immediate goal you need to attain. So this is what coaches are for, breaking everything down into itty bitty increments, because that's how your brain works. So it's tomorrow morning, your next step is this, or even get into the mindset of thinking about this. Infinitesimal stages of change. So when you're researching something such as a good diet to choose or a lifestyle to choose, they're all good. Some are better than others, in my opinion. I happen to like Primal. Give yourself a firm deadline. So take the time you would scrolling social media. 15 minutes a day, whatever. You'll catch yourself scrolling because you're probably pretty aware of your habits. And go through your meta-analysis, your online guides, or chat with friends, whatever you need to. Have a dedicated time. Spend 15 minutes, maybe give yourself a week, 15 minutes a week. So a little over an hour total. If you focus in that amount of time, you'll digest a tremendous amount of information, and you'll notice a pattern, and you'll just pick something. It doesn't matter if you're going to be bad, there will be hiccups, and you will not figure out. I had so much trouble figuring out how to overcome your own mental roadblocks. Everyone's context is different, everyone's metabolism is different, everyone's lifestyle is very different. The only way you figure that out is by doing it. Roadblocks will come up, you have to work through it. Small incremental changes is the only way anyone has made massive progress that you see at the end of 6 months. It's an everyday thing. So that's what a coach is for. Coach is for building, designing, programming, anticipating roadblocks, but we can only anticipate the super common ones like this, like analysis paralysis, or there's quite a few other ones, using stimulants, or I mean, all of the excuses are a form of self-sabotage, but we'll go over more of those in future videos. If you do happen to be interested in Primal anything, Primal diet, Primal lifestyle modifications, high intensity fitness, I do build these mindset tips into my program, and that's what the accountability form of coaching is for. It's to give you that check-in, because we don't care if you do it or not. We know you'll care. People are always their own worst critics. This holds true for coaches too, and it's even more frustrating whenever you know the mental roadblocks and they still happen to you. This is why coaches have coaches. It doesn't matter what stage you're at in your fitness journey, your mind is always your biggest obstacle. Which is the other cliche is, it's you versus you. It really is. Like, I hate it when cliches are accurate, because it'd be nice to think that some people just had ways around that. No, it's still you versus you. And that it doesn't ever go away. You just get better at recognizing it and having systems in place to short circuit those mental circuits until you reprogram your subconscious to just get there a little faster. So there's always pain. It's just you skip over the hours of deliberation, and that turns into 5 minutes, hopefully over time. But we'll go over more mental triggers that I find as I continue helping people towards their journey. Thanks for stopping by, guys.